Namaste everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome back to the part 2 of the video that I had shared a while back, which spoke about divine masculine showers the divine feminine with compliments, with genuine compliments. This is divine masculine and feminine in reunion, and this is also to ascertain and also to tell you people that the reunions happen many times, okay, between a masculine and feminine, but depending on the stages that they are in, depending on the stage that the monard twin flame is in. Monard twin flame is the one who's very powerful twin flame with a very high vibrational energy. Depending on where the monard is, the monard twin flame is, these reunions get more and more intense, which means they are just mirroring the place or the stage where the inner work is going. Now, I must tell you that some people get really surprised or shocked when they hear about interesting things about twin flame journey. And I remember long time back when I had spoken about the catalyst twin flame, many people were shocked. And some people also said, oh, you're just giving this information or that information, it doesn't sound correct, because this is what twin flames mean, or whatever they've learned from other videos and some channels, they understand or they believe it to be the only correct information. But twin flame journey is really not about physical union only. Twin flame journey is also about how much time have you spent in this journey, how long have you spent in this journey, how independent you are financially, emotionally, mentally, physically. There are a whole lot of factors that actually make a person's authority or knowledge viable and correct. But people who are in this journey only for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, even 5-7 years is nothing in this journey. Trust me, it's just tip of the iceberg. There is so much work that needs to be done in the underground and in the basements. This is not also a journey where people can make a choice and they can say, oh, I will quit right now. They can take a pause, they can take a break for sure. But after taking a break or a pause, they themselves want to get back to this journey ASAP. So let's jump into part 2. We had spoken about how divine masculine and feminine witness separation, and during that separation the solar plexus gets activated. Without solar plexus activation and without complete healing of solar plexus, let me tell you, nobody can, anyone who thinks or who says, who has been saying, because twin flame is not a very old concept, twin flames come on the planet at a specific time. So whosoever is telling you that they are in twin flame union without working on solar plexus, they can never be in union, because their union will never happen, really, and they will see it that they will keep getting separated. Even the best of the best couples who claim to be together on YouTube, on the videos, they may not be together right now, and you can go and check their channels. Some of them market their content heavily, whereas in reality for twin flame journey you don't need to market anything. It's information, you put it out there, and those who are vibrational match of this journey or their actual twin flames, genuine twin flames, they will automatically get attracted to it and be over there, depending on which phase and which stage they are actually in and what information they're looking for. If the information they're looking for is relevant for them in that particular time frame, it will be useful for them and they will be drawn to it. If it's not, then they will not be. And there are some people who are coaching other people in twin flame journey. They also are at a certain stage or at a certain level. They have not grown from it. They might have done well, before that to reach to that stage or to that level or to that phase. But after a point, even they get stagnant, because a lot of people stay in comfortable places. They know that this is working out for them, this is good for them, so they remain stagnant, which also makes their journey get stagnant. And someone else, like a monarch twin flame who has been working on their journey non-stop, will grow and go ahead and probably achieve whatever they are here to achieve. Twin flame ascension journey takes time, so therefore both divine masculine and feminine have to be with their respective karmics, or they have to experience some kind of karmic dynamic. Maybe it's with family, or maybe it's some other setup. If in case for some of the twin flames they they never really separate physically, or they never really separate materialistically, but mentally they are separated, or they are emotionally not connected with each other. Some can even have children, but they are just not with each other. They don't love each other that way. They don't feel the love. Love remains intact between the divine masculine and feminine. The only thing is that when they are learning, they have to go away from each other. So for some people, some couples can be like that they are married, they have a child, but they are not with each other. They could be under the same roof. So don't go by the typical standards of twin flame journey that you're watching or hearing. This journey, this ascension journey, is so interesting and so deep that you cannot even imagine what all things, what all perspectives are there in it. Just one way of twin flame ascension is simply impossible. So if people are going to remain in their limited bubble of whatever they know about twin flames, they're going to be stuck for a long time. And this even happens to those who claim to be teachers or coaches or guides, because they are not moving ahead in the journey, and now they have the teacher's role, the guide's role. All the more difficult for them to actually refute, go against what they have learned. Sometimes they may have learned something about twin flames, and 5 years or 7 years later they find out that this is not what it is. 7 years, 8 years, 10 years later they find out. But now they cannot tell the other people that, hey, this is not true, whatever I was telling you, this is not true. Maybe for them individually it may not be true, but for someone else it can be. That's why God chose them to actually share that information. Intuitively maybe they share that information. So no one should get confused. The thing is, God loves original people. God loves originality. And that's why God made everyone to be an original version of them. Every individual, no matter how similar we are all also very unique. So with these unique identities, when we go out on planet Earth to understand who we are without any memory of our past reincarnations or wherever we come from, it's only our intuition and it's only our connection, the real connection, the strongest connection, that leads us on and shows us the path. And those people who are genuine twin flames, they are very loving, they are very kind-hearted, they are also very unpredictable. Any genuine person is going to be unpredictable, and you cannot try to put them in some boxes. You cannot say that, hey, this is how all doctors behave, so you should behave like this. This is not how all teachers behave, so you should behave like this. This is not some kind of packaging, same kind of packaging that you can put people on, same kind of mold that you can put people on. So here I am being shown that the divine masculine is into another reunion session with his divine feminine, and he feels that both of them have grown a lot, and due to the karmic relationship or karmic dynamics that both faced, maybe one of them faced some health problems, or maybe due to some addiction pattern one of them ages a bit faster than other, or they are into some other issue, maybe family problem. They don't take care of themselves, they don't exercise, they don't go out, they don't do anything. Now this is the time when the healthy one or the much more happy one can inspire them. And I'm telling you, even though one person seems to look better, there are always certain things that the other could also be good at. Like they all have different departments that they work on. Could be possible that the one who has bad health or the one who has aged a bit faster than the other may be very good in finances, or maybe they are very good with understanding karmic relationships, or they're extremely independent. They could probably have cracked some way to be happy in their own world. One thing that divine masculine realizes is that when he was in a karmic setup, he was extremely trapped. He felt trapped and he felt caged, and he just wanted to get out of it. That's when he realizes the value of the freedom that divine feminine had given to him out of trust. But he maybe broke the trust, or he maybe did not understand it at that point in time. He did not really see it as freedom, he saw it as something else. And after separation of his feminine, he felt a lot more close to her, because when a person is not around, we value them even more. But at that point in time, it looked impossible for him to go back into communication, to go back to talking to her like nothing had happened. So during that time, he goes through a phase of regret, and he goes through a phase of fear, he goes through a phase of guilt and a lot of negative feelings. Every time he thinks of her, he's always unhappy, thinking that why did I not choose the right thing. So he goes through that phase. But one fine day, just like that, they never plan it, it just happens. One fine day, they just get back into communication. So despite whatever his fear was that he would never actually be able to get back to her, they do get back to her, they do get talking again, and it feels like they never really got separated, because they may not have a label at that point in time that they are together or they're dating or they're girlfriend, boyfriend, or husband, wife, whatever it is. But deep inside, he knows that this is the woman I love, and she knows that this is the man I love. And I'm telling you, they are not in any typical setup. Till the time the typical 3D thing, the sansaric thing doesn't go out of their DNA completely, they cannot be together. I mean, typically together. Otherwise, they are together any which way. So many years have passed by, and they've grown up from being naive and innocent and not knowing that many things. They have become wiser. Divine Masculine feels that he finds Divine Feminine to be very attractive and youthful. And due to the karmic relationship and all of the toll that it took on his health, maybe for some time he is going to go through a phase of feeling a bit bad about his looks or his health or his whatever has happened to him. But I think he is going to pick up on it, and he is going to get back into shape for sure. Why she is into shape, why she is much better, is because of some other reasons. Maybe the Venus energy is strong, or maybe she never really stopped working on herself health wise, or some other ways she was always working. Because as I said, in this collective reading, she is the monad. So monads usually keep doing their inner work. They never stop, no matter what happens to them, no matter what they go through. And I think the credit goes to mission work and the masters, because if you have an active mission, then no matter what happens to you, you have to get up, you have to get out from your bed, you have to get out from your room, because you have the responsibility of many others, and those people are going to make you want to get out. That responsibility, the feeling that you are useful in somebody else's life, that you're important in somebody else's life, that you're making a difference in someone else's life, will make you get up and get out from the dark night of soul phase faster than maybe what the other person is going through. And let me also clarify once again, I don't know how many times I have to clarify this, but I'll still clarify it with all my love, that twin flame is not an outside concept, which means it is definitely used for the ease of communication, because we need to talk to each other. In this collective reading, the Divine Masculine has a lot of appreciation for the Divine Feminine. He is possessing more clarity right now. Their communication has energized him. It could be possible that he was going through some really tough time with the karmic, and just then the feminine contacted him just like that randomly. Hey, how are you? What's up? And he could be going through a very difficult situation emotionally, mentally, financially. He could be really down in the dumps, and out of the blue they met somewhere, maybe they connected somehow. It was very natural and organic. Or maybe she was down in the dumps and he reached out to her out of the blue just like that. And that kind of ended up, energizing both of them, you can say. There are also some unexpected changes that he sees in the Divine Feminine, that she's a lot into spirituality, and when they reconnect, each time they reconnect, she has more authority, she has more confidence, she is very strong into her mission. As I just told you also, that mission is the very reason that actually gives power to any twin flame for that matter. Twin flame is a person who has both these energies, both these activated energies of masculine and feminine polarity at the time of birth. So at the time of birth, a lot of twin flames are actually fully healed. They don't have any issue. It's only when They start getting programmed, they are in their templates gradually, step by step. They pick onto all of those wounds and they amass all of those generational curses. And then once they're reawakening, you can say, when the dormant Kundalini starts rising up again, that's when it's predestined, it's also divine timing. That's when these curses and the programming starts irritating them, it starts triggering them, and they have to do something to get out of it. They need to figure it out, and they start researching, they start looking up for how to get out of this or how to get out of that. And mostly the one who does research is either the divine feminine or the monad, or it is the one who was the chaser. It could be male also. There are so many people who are in masculine bodies but they are chasers, so they learn how to get out of these situations. And I'm not saying a man cannot pursue a woman, a man should pursue women, there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm talking about chasing love in an unhealthy way. That's not correct thing to do. Whether you're a man or whether you're a woman, you should believe that love is there for you, you're worthy of love, you deserve to be loved, love is your birthright, and you don't have to make crazy efforts to get love. It is obviously kind of off-putting when someone expects you to do only materialistic things when it comes to love. So I think when the feminine and masculine separate away from each other, this is also the time when both of them or one of them feels that this whole 3D setup is not for them. It could be possible that one of them, under the pressure of their family or somebody else, decides to get into the marriage concept or the 3D relationship format, and the other may not be ready. They might be like, I want to do this, I want to do that. This can also be one of the dynamics that can be played out. The masculine feels really happy that the feminine has achieved a lot, and he sees that she's very grounded, she is humble, and she has a glow, she has an actual glow up, and she has a very genuine smile that comes from her heart. It's not a fake smile, she's not making it up, and this contentment makes her look more beautiful. Divine masculine finds all of this to be very endearing, very attractive. This godly self of her, he maybe didn't know about it, or you can say when she shows that side of her, he also starts reflecting his godly side. He too also becomes non-hesitant in projecting his godly nature, because it could be possible that he has to fit in with other people, and when he talks a lot about spirituality or he talks about his mystical experiences or the things that he has learned, maybe those people make fun of him, or he feels that he cannot be that person, he cannot show that personality or that side of his personality. But when he sees that she is in so much authority, doing what she loves and being a spiritual being and having no shame in that, not being embarrassed at all, could be possible when they were together he was the one who would make her feel embarrassed about who she is. So now that she is in that very tough nut kind of energy, that she cannot be persuaded to not be her true self, he also kinds of sees a teacher in her. So here the divine masculine sees that the feminine is so wise that she can teach him, she can heal him, she can help him, and he cannot name this energy, but this is the monad energy where the lover takes the role of a mentor, and she becomes his mentor, and he willingly gives her that position. He willingly wants to know, he willingly wants to ask questions, he willingly wants to learn. He would tell her that give me your guidance, give me your help, I need to grow, I'm done with this life of addiction. And I can pick on to one more divine masculine and feminine template over here, wherein it could be possible that the masculine was a playboy in his youth, or he has that skill of charming women and he was really good at that. He could have slept with a lot of women, and when he met the feminine, maybe he treated her the same way like he would treat any other woman, but there was something about her which he could never forget. So maybe he kept in touch, maybe he was jealous of her going out with someone else because he did not give her that commitment. He did not make the effort to be her man, to be by her side, and Maybe he chose someone else who has a lot of money, wealth, or fame, or position, or social status. Basically, he chooses somebody who has materialistic stuff, not the spiritual stuff. He's not into spirituality, or he doesn't see it as so important. Only when he starts going through problems, emotional problems, mental problems, lot of guilt, shame, maybe now he's aging, he's probably in his late 30s or 40s. I'm not going to say that 40s is old or he has aged a lot, but of course when you compare a man who is 19, 18, 20, and he can easily do everything, he can go out and party, he can have some substance, he can enjoy with the ladies, and by the time he reaches late 30s or early 40s, he realizes that this is really unhealthy, because sooner or later his spiritual side will also awaken. Or maybe he's married to someone now, he wants a family, but he also has a pragmatic mind, he has a curious mind, he can act with discernment, or he can judge. He may not be healed, he may not be really free or happy, but he can understand that he's not happy. That much sense he has developed. But when he looks at the feminine, he feels that not only she's content and happy, but she's mission oriented. In some cases, he could also be very much drawn to her because they could have same mission. Maybe before, when he was in his playboy phase, or he was just chilling out a lot, he did not know what his mission was, and they don't have anything to talk about. Like, they don't have anything in common to talk about other than how much they're attracted to each other physically. They could be from the same field, they could be from the same industry professionally. I mean, something has to bring them together, some kind of you can say stimuli, some stimulus has to be there. But it's only later on, when they both develop more as humans, as individuals, they become more wiser, they actually start doing a lot of things together, and maybe he keeps a part of her with him always, like the name, or maybe something to do with her, what she likes, what she loves. He keeps it around her, around him, and even she might keep something of his around her. And then as time passes by, as per divine timing, whenever the right time is there, or whenever they have reached that level or that space where they can see each other, they can recognize each other, this is the time when he realizes that how much he loves her, how much she means to him, what she means to him, and how happy he is just talking to her, just looking at her face, just seeing some messages from her. So he obviously compliments her a lot. There's genuine compliment, and she also kind of knows how to take care of him. I think the man-woman dynamic is important to understand. The man can compliment the woman without feeling any insecurity or any sort of resistance, and he can tell her how gorgeous she is, how beautiful she is, how much he loves her, how much he cares for her, keeping in mind what the relationship is also. There has to be some boundary over there, and she can also tell him, like, you should not do this, or you should do this. That's a very womanly thing, how you should take care of yourself. She's caring and nurturing, she's very protective or very nice, and there are no expectations as such. This is also a dynamic that can play out, and I feel there is strong love, very, very strong love here as well. Now, going back to the initial masculine and feminine, divine masculine and feminine dynamic or template I was talking about, here the masculine can recognize that she's a monad. I mean, in the second case also he recognizes, but they don't have a name to it, so they look up to this person as somebody who can help them out, because they have messed up a lot. They could have messed up their health, or they could have messed up their mind. They may be feeling unhappy, they may be feeling like they did not do the right thing, they did not take the correct steps, and it's too late to go back and fix it. So she can obviously help them, she can counsel them much better, she can care for them much better, and she doesn't have that lustful energy. So when they are with any other woman, because see, if a man is a playboy, a Casanova, he's very good looking, attractive, and he knows what to say, the right things to say, everybody else is definitely going to get seduced by him. But she is not going to get seduced by him, she is not going to get affected by him. So without the lust energy, it becomes very easy for him to actually be fully expressive, just talk whatever he feels like. He knows there will not be any judgment. He knows that, so he can be himself, so that's the kind of comfort level she gives to him, that you can be yourself and I'm not going to judge you, I'm not going to care about anything, say whatever you want to say, because she's become nonchalant, she's just observing, so she doesn't really feel much also at the same time. Okay, fine, that's his experience, she thinks like that. So in some situations, this whole role of taking help or talking it out or being communicative, it can be very impressive. Like other people can say, oh wow, that person is doing so well, your person is doing so well, they're on some pedestal. But in some situations, somewhere he feels a bit curious also, he feels a bit embarrassed that he is not able to reach wherever she has reached in some cases. But despite this embarrassment or despite this curiosity, he wants to surrender because the ego has died. Because of divine feminine, there is an ego death that is taking place, and ego death also doesn't happen in one day. It's a gradual process. It takes time. Whatever it is, maybe 60% ego is gone, 70% is gone. So now he's becoming more and more like, yeah, I can surrender to her. While she is surrendering to source more and more, more and more, more and more. The more she surrenders to source, the more other people are going to surrender to her. The ego will not be there. When the masculine was in his ego state and he was not accepting her for who she is, he was not understanding logically or emotionally that she may be triggering him, but that is what makes him do the work. That's the thing that makes him want to do inner work or become a better version of himself. So she's right. So he thinks in his alone time, or he thinks when she's not around, they are in some kind of separation, they're not talking to each other, he thinks that, oh my God, she was right. Whatever she was telling me or whatever advice she gave me, she was 100% right. So now that he has crossed that stage, maybe there were cycles of it, multiple cycles of it, he's given up. She's also given up. I'm not going to give him any explanation. Let him do whatever he wants to do. I don't care anymore. He's going to find his way on his own. God is doing everything. I'm not doing anything. I could be a mentor. I could be this, that for him right now. But overall, the divine feminines have to maintain that humbleness. They have to maintain the non-doership. If they're going to be the doers, this can never work. Nothing can happen, So once she also lets go of the doership and she says, okay, I'm not the doer, God is the doer, God will help him out, if he's not listening to me, fine. So now mentally she is not arguing or trying to give him that message, and he is verbally or physically not arguing or asking for any justification. He's just like, okay, let me hear this out and then I will give my judgment. When he gives the judgment, she also doesn't get irritated. She also says, okay, fine, this is his opinion, this is his point of view, let me hear him out as well. So there's a lot of harmony that I can pick on. This energy of harmony is there. She's also seeing a new side of him, as if he truly is tired of the worldly world, the samsaric reality, and now he wants to accept whatever makes him truly happy. If he chooses the worldly world or materialistic stuff, even now, even at this point in time, 70%, 80% ego has died, 20-30% is still there. It won't be easy for them to coexist, okay? But she would still be okay with that. It's all right, take your time, do your thing. It may be temporary life, temporary body, but they are beyond all of this now. That's because after separation, the divine feminine has her own share of misery and her own share of lessons. Even her karmic relationships or false twin relationships didn't work out. And since she's a monad, everyone, remember this, if this is a monad, everyone, whether it's karmic or false twin or just a time pass fling that happened, anyone who comes in touch with her will change somehow. It will take time. There will be completely different dynamic later on, but they will also change. Some change is bound to come into those people. They might or might not respect her, I'm not sure, but I cannot say that everybody will be in harmony, but there will be some change, because when she attracts those people, she is under programming, she is under the influence of programming. And then later on she can see them like, yeah, they are also programmed. They are much more programmed. They don't have the concept of spiritual awakening or ascension. So, okay, I must show compassion on them and I must forgive them, because they don't know what they're doing or what they're saying. That also shifts the energy, that lifts the energy. In fact, this is the thing that lifts the energy between her and masculine also. So love is the religion of divine masculine and feminine, and for you love is your religion, and you don't want to live the rest of your life in negativity. Rest of your life you want to live in acceptance and love, and just being who you are, just accepting who you are, just taking every day as it comes, and that is more than enough to bring change. Working on solar plexus is so important. Solar plexus mantra should be your daily thing, should be a part of your daily routine. And I can only say this to you, only those who have practiced know the difference, because some people who contacted me for personal sessions, they had been watching my videos since 2021 or 2020. They have personally told me that we have been chanting the solar plexus mantra after we started hearing you talk about it, and it has had such a huge impact in our lives. We are so much more independent, and it actually makes you feel very peaceful. The mantra is like that. If you keep chanting it, if you keep repeating it every day, whether you do it with discipline at one specific time, say every morning or evening or afternoon, whether you do it throughout the day, you keep mentally chanting it, it will have a really unique impact on you, which you'll not feel anywhere else. Nowhere else you feel like that. And that's how this connection with the solar plexus mantra, with the Ram chant, it becomes more and more like intense and beautiful, and it's just a beautiful feeling, actually, to be honest. So this is where I'm going to close this collective reading. For personal sessions and for therapies, you can check out the description box. All details are given below. Please first go through it fully and only connect with me and book the session only when you're 100% sure with what you're resonating the most with. Whatever you resonate with intuitively, that should be the thing for you. For Indians, you have to write to me to my email address, thesunamoon@gmail.com, to get my details to book the session. But the fee is same for everyone, no matter which country you're in. And for any other person in any other country, PayPal link works just fine. You can also become my Patreon and support this content every month. Thank you to all the current Patreons and members of this channel, and thank you to all the viewers and subscribers. Thank you to everyone who is doing inner work. Thank you for just being who you are. You're amazing and you're a beautiful child of God. I will see you in the next video. You can get my book, In the Name of Love, A Journey of Finding Your Ultimate Soulmate, only on Amazon Kindle, because that's where you get the latest edited version. One love, peace out, and victory to Ram.